It is Rad Tech Week, celebrating the work that Rad Techs do all across the country in hospitals nationwide. What better way for us to celebrate Rad Tech Week than giving away one of these Atlas shirts? By the way, if you're a Rad Tech and you are currently on a contract with us or even working maybe to get a contract with us, email your recruiter your size and your address. We'll send you one of those. So we figured the best way to celebrate Rad Tech Week would be to talk to a Rad Tech who also recruits for us. So Rad Tech in a hospital, Anchorage, Alaska, also recruiter for Atlas MedStaff. Brandon Bills, who is a Rad Tech for 13 years, also recruiter for Atlas MedStaff for just over 1 year now in a hospital in Alaska. Kind of talks about what it's like to be a Rad Tech, good and bad, and what he likes best, and then what it means to be a Rad Tech during Rad Tech Week.
So hi, I'm Brandon Bills. I'm a radiology technologist. I do IR, cath lab, EP, and neuro, and I'm also a recruiter with Atlas MedStaff. I think a lot of medical professionals kind of get burnt out, and I know that the hours I was working, I felt like maybe recruiting would be, I could kind of dabble out, get outside of the medical field for a little bit, try something new. I always kind of wanted to start my own business, and I always wanted to, and I like people. So you just see a lot of agencies and a lot of travelers out there that just don't seem to get the best deal out of the travel situation. So I just kind of wanted to be that guy, that recruiter that I always wanted to have. Actually, I didn't, to be honest with you. I always wanted to be an engineer. My little brother always wanted to be a nurse, and I always wanted to be an engineer. And now he's a nuclear engineer, and I'm a Rad Tech. So our mother was a emergency room RN, and we just kind of grew up around it. I mean, we went to the hospitals after school. We were at the hospitals before school sometimes to catch the bus because we lived way out in the country. And then I guess in high school, I did some volunteer work in the radiology department and just loved it. I loved being around just patient care, and I liked the technology behind X-ray. So I was just kind of drawn to it that way. So I'm now at Alaska Regional Hospital up in Alaska. One of my buddies up here in Alaska Regional reached out to me and said, hey, we're looking for, we need some techs, we need some nurses. He said, and we've gone to 312. He said, it's guaranteed 4 days off a week. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. And the money wasn't bad either. Fast forward just 5 minutes later, my fiance walks in and she's like, we're pregnant. So with everything going on, I was like, we might have to go after some guaranteed money, you know? So that's the big move. That's the big why. I love Alaska. So my first contract was in Alaska. I stayed for a year up here, left and went to Atlanta, Georgia, traveled around the country, came back, stayed for another year. And then, yeah, man, ever since we left, we've never been able to stop thinking about it. I like how selfless it has to be, because sometimes it doesn't matter what we're going through. It doesn't matter the day that I've had or the week I've had. It's like when I get a patient, all of that just kind of disappears. And I know it's no longer about me. Like, I've got to focus on them. You know, I've got to get them through the procedure, have my head in the game to get them to the hard cath or the IR procedure, whatever it is. So I like the fact that it can kind of get me out of whatever I'm going through, and I can give that attention to someone else. I think giving recognition to Rad Techs is important. I think we do, I don't know, sometimes we get a bad rap, especially if you're doing portables in the ICU and we're messing up beds, or we're in the ER and there's all these lines everywhere and we've got to get our board behind our back. Some people think we just push buttons, but there's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot of physics that goes on behind the scenes of how fast do I need to push it? How many x-rays do I need to generate to get this for this patient? And it's a tough program. Radiology tech has a lot of radiation physics in it. It's nothing just to laugh about. So I think having that recognition is pretty nice.